It's Numbers Don't Lie here on CBS Sports Golazo, powered by Sofascore. Chris Wittyngham Nico Cantor, ready to get you up to speed with everything that's happening in the world of football, including Inter Miami winning MLS Cup. Lionel Messi is champion of American soccer, Chris.
Yeah, and what is it, trophy number 47 for him in his career? I actually decided to go to this game. I knew it was going to be on the show, had to bring the in-person insight, but he had a brilliant performance in this final.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, he led it almost every category. Assists, key passes, big chances created. Perhaps Vancouver allowed him to have some of those big chances, successful dribbles, and he was the best player on the field according to the Sofascore rating.
Which makes sense also against the eye test as well. Obviously, the first goal isn't even involved in terms of a statistical contribution.
Right.
But come the end of this season, he was absolutely dominant for Inter Miami. He didn't actually score in either the semifinal or the final, but still made massive contributions with these assists. 23rd, which is best in MLS, 35 goals over the course of regular season and playoffs. Astronomical figures for a player in this league.
Yeah, so much so, we're considering whether this is the best single season in Major League Soccer history, and it might well be. I mean, successful dribbles, 101 successful dribbles, big chances created. Messi didn't become dull when he arrived at Major League Soccer. He stayed sharp, Chris.
Yeah, and that wasn't necessarily a given because Lionel Messi obviously is, in some people's view, the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
But other great players have come to Major League Soccer and not taken it very seriously at times and also not delivered that level of performance. One player that did, and I think what was sort of the high watermark for the previous best MLS season ever was Carlos Vela. Playing for LAFC, this LAFC team was absolutely fantastic. They won the Supporter Shield. They did actually end up not winning MLS Cup, but Carlos Vela in that season had 34 goals in the regular season, 36 including playoffs, with 11 assists. And I think the figures are relatively comparable in terms of goal scoring, but with that assist figure being much higher for Lionel Messi, incredibly impressive. The Sofascore rating slightly more impressive for Messi as well. I think we can make a reasonable argument that Lionel Messi just turned in the best MLS season of all time.
Yeah.
And that's also while missing some games due to injury. If we imagine a world in which he plays in every single MLS game, these numbers could be even more ridiculous.
Yeah, and we imagine he's going to be back-to-back MVP.
Yes.
For Major League Soccer. Listen, there's a couple of other individual seasons that we can compare Messi's season with, like, for example, Josef Martinez with Atlanta United. It's a fun argument to make, but we still live in this Messi-Ronaldo era, especially post-Europe Messi and Ronaldo. And I want to compare both players since Messi has arrived in Major League Soccer. And although the trophies for Messi are in his favor, Ronaldo is still playing a lot and scoring a lot too. The numbers just show that.
Yeah, I think the goal-scoring figures have been incredible. And actually, that is the one thing that doesn't get included a little bit from before Lionel Messi joined Inter Miami is when he joined Al Nassr. From the moment he joined, he has scored tons of goals, slightly better in terms of minutes per goal for Lionel Messi. The one thing, though, is the trophies. I think the impact on winning, obviously the Saudi Pro League is really built up around Cristiano Ronaldo with all the public investment funds, but they have not been able, his team has not been able to get over the line. This season, though, they've gotten off to a very good start. Ronaldo is having an impact in those games as well. 9 wins from 9. Al Nassr look on their way so far to going and winning a league title, and I think that would be the number one thing that he could do to sort of bolster that argument.
Messi's 41 assists are absolutely incredible. 18 assists for Ronaldo, who plays a less generous position. It's more about his goal scoring threat in front of goal is pretty incredible anyway. I mean, the fact that these guys are this age and still contributing so much offensively, it just begs the question what their impact is going to be at the World Cup and who potentially can have a better impact come summer 2026.
Which is crazy because even talking about it in sort of this post-major European football stage, you don't expect players at the age of 38, 39, 40, and in Ronaldo's case, he will be 41 when the World Cup kicks off, to not just be good players, but centerpiece players, foundational players that the team is built around. I'm curious the degree to which Argentina will be built around Messi come the summer's World Cup, but I think we pretty clearly know Ronaldo's going to be the starting center forward, and the idea for Portugal is going to be to get him the ball in high leverage moments to go and score goals that can go potentially win them the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, this is a conversation for everybody, by the way. If you're watching on YouTube, chime into the conversation in the comments. If you're a Messi fan, if you're a Ronaldo fan, I don't care. If you're a football fan, football nerd, let us know what you you think is going to happen at the World Cup between these two players. And the numbers kind of show that Portugal has catered a little bit more to Ronaldo than Argentina has to Messi. Let's take a look at Lionel Messi in these last couple of years, because it's pretty telling. Going into the World Cup, there's been a little bit of ambiguity also. I hope I can be there, he said. I've said before that I'd love to be there. At worst, I'll be there watching it live, but it will be special. This gray area that Messi has kind of spoken about, to me, it's all a bit that's going to be played later out. I really think Messi's going to be at the World Cup. And if he is, I think he can only help Argentina.
Yeah, which I think is sort of interesting, the humility with which he talks about it, but we all know he's going to be there. The one thing, though, that could potentially defy at least recent trends is, again, 38-plus-year-old players involved in the last two World Cups. This is the complete list. And if you look at this list, it's really only Ignashevich for Russia at the World Cup in 2018, Thiago Silva and Pepe that were players for teams that achieved a high level of the World Cup that were basically nailed on starters. Dani Alves is kind of a bit part player for Brazil. Rafa Marquez as well for Mexico. Tim Cahill only played the one game for Australia in 2018. Atiba Hutchinson was a starter, but obviously Canada didn't make it out of the group stage. So in terms of teams with big expectations, this is a surprise that we see Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo at the center of their teams at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. And most of these players that you're seeing on this list aren't attacking players. Tim Cahill, the sole exception. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out. Let's take a look at what Messi has done in between the last couple of World Cups. So we're taking a look at the World Cup cycle from 2018 to 2022, and since the Qatar World Cup, he's played less games, less official games, right? We're excluding friendlies for this chat. And the areas of influence are pretty similar. 2 Copa Americas in those World Cup cycles, 2 trophies for Argentina. And it's fair to say that although he's playing less, he's still contributing a lot. But it does seem like Argentina has had big moments without him, especially I think back to World Cup qualifying games against Uruguay and Brazil, where Argentina were able to play some of their biggest rivals off of the park without Messi. He missed 7 official games, and they've scored more in those 7 official games than having him on the pitch in the 17 that he played. But they are getting more points per game, and I think that's normal. But it does feel like Argentina has a greater vision beyond Messi, if it's for this World Cup, if it's for the next World Cup, or immediately afterwards. Whereas for Portugal, I'm not so sure the numbers say the same thing, Woody.
Which is interesting, because I do think that Portugal have some players that are not quite heir apparents. There is no heir apparent to Messi or Ronaldo because of their level.
Right.
But I still think that Portugal has that level of, you think of a player like Rafael Leao, who takes on the responsibility of a team in Milan, and I think could do something similar for Portugal. But let's look at the figures now for Cristiano Ronaldo in terms of the sort of with and without figures. And again, we're looking at a similar figure. This is excluding friendlies over the course of that cycle. He's actually playing more, Cristiano Ronaldo, than he was in the previous cycles. Dealing with injury a little bit less and still taking up 80% of the minutes, still involved in roughly the same amount of the goals. So he's still a key player in this team for Portugal. There is no decision about taking him out of the side, whether that's because Ronaldo decides so or because that's what the coach thinks is the best thing to do. I think the one thing you see in terms of major difference, you look at this number 10 area and you look at the positions out wide as well. There's one thing that he does now. Get in the box.
Yeah.
Get in the box and be that center forward for the side. The side is constructed around trying to get him good chances, good moments. This is the evolution of his career, really, in just the shape of one heat map.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is extremely telling, because you're saying that he's playing more, but his heat map is less dense.
Right, which I think shows he's conserving himself in games, which Messi also does in games as well, but also his role has changed over time. I sort of came to Cristiano Ronaldo as a really profitable goal-scoring winger who would come off the left and get involved in tons of goals. He is now an out-and-out center forward, and that really changed, really after he moved to Juventus, I would say, really, most of all. But I think when you look at what he has done over the course of the last few years, I think, again, we take a look at some of these figures. Just even comparing, you showed the figures with Messi, 28 games to 3 in official competition with and without Ronaldo. Just the 3 games. Obviously, this is kind of a funny statistic here because they score 4 goals per game more. But that's because this is weighted by a 9-1 win for Portugal over Armenia, where they took off. This is after Ronaldo got suspended against Ireland. So we're saying they score 6.3 goals per game, which if that actually were the case, I would recommend them trying it, but probably a bit weighted by the numbers.
Wait, are you saying that the numbers do lie?
No, never. No. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, well, it's pretty incredible. I mean, listen, Ronaldo has been playing a lot for Portugal, and it's incredible that at his age, he still has this type of influence on the Portuguese national team, and they're willing to die on this hill for him. Hey, it might work, it might not. And Argentina, we'll see how Messi is involved. That's also a big question. So who will have the bigger impact? This is a question that we're going to be analyzing not only this week, we'll be reading out the best comments here on YouTube throughout all of our shows here on CBS Sports Golazo. So Messi, Ronaldo, we're in 2025 on the doorstep of 2026, and the debate still goes on. Hey, thanks for watching this video from Numbers Don't Lie. Be sure to catch our show every Monday at 5 p.m. on YouTube. And for news and insights from leagues all around the world, including Serie A, EFL, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.